Well, good afternoon, family. It is 12 o'clock, and it is day number 2 of our consecration of purification. As you can tell, I'm outside again, and it is a beautiful day outside, and we are privileged to be in the elements as we seek and purify ourselves before God. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. This is your inspirational moment. This is the time where we encourage you. You should be getting frustrated a little bit because you're seeing signs and commercials, maybe even invited to eat and the like, and you're struggling with what you want to eat versus what you can eat. This is when the battle with the flesh begins, and you really begin to battle this whole thing about eating vegetables. You really don't have a problem with vegetables, but you're just battling because I don't really want to eat no vegetables. I don't want no raw vegetables. I don't want no grilled vegetables. I don't want no roasted vegetables. I don't want no boiled vegetables. You start to get frustrated and you get tired of water and all of that. So the battle is beginning. But this battle is only for a moment. After a while, you're going to come into, excuse that truck. I didn't give that truck permission to pass by. But after a while, you're going to come on into the drive of this consecration. And that's going to be dealing with the inner man. But right now, you're dealing with the flesh man. So I want to encourage you today, and we're going to have special encouragement coming. But I want to encourage you in dealing with that flesh man. Do not allow that flesh man to defeat you. Do not allow that flesh man to beat you. Your mind will start going into problem places and hurtful places just to get you to a state of not feeling like this and giving up on this. Oh, but we will persevere and we will press on into the drive of this consecration so that we can present ourselves ready for God to use in this next dimension. So be encouraged today. I absolutely love you. We're going to go and receive an encouragement message, and I'll be right back. Receive our own Minister Alicia Littles.
Hello, family, and God bless you all. This is Minister Alicia Littles, and I just wanted to come and encourage all of my brothers and sisters of New Life during our consecration just to be open to what God is going to do in your life during this consecration. The reason why I say be open is because you never know what God may be trying to get to you, trying to talk to you about, or trying to prepare you for. Everybody's situation is different. And because God is all knowing, He knows what He needs to work on in each and every one of us. So, as I was preparing to encourage you all, I was sitting and thinking, and the Lord took me back to my dad's passing. Um, my dad suddenly became sick a couple of years ago. It's been almost 7, 8 years ago now, I believe. My dad became ill. He was living in another state. We got a phone call from someone who he was staying with that said, "Hey, your dad is sick. Um, I didn't sign up for this to take care of him like this. So could you guys please come and get him?" And we noticed that my dad's speech was a little slurred and things like that when we would talk to him from time to time. And we just was like, well, maybe we just chomped it up to him, maybe getting a little older and stuff like that. So, but we could tell something was a little different with him. Well, long story short, we ended up having to go and we got the phone call. Immediately called my mom, asked her what we should do, and immediately called Bishop and asked him what we should do. And guidance from them, we decided to go get my father. The Lord had blessed me and my sister with a one level home at the time. So our house was equipped and we had the rooms to house him. So we went up there and got my dad, and we realized something was wrong when we did see him. We brought him down here to, I want to say, Emory, and had him diagnosed. And we found out my dad was suffering with ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, which is a muscular disease that over time it will pretty much eat away at your muscular system, your muscles. and you become paralyzed, and eventually you pass away. And we didn't know how far a stage it was that he was in, but after we took him to the hospital and they diagnosed him, he was pretty far along. So we moved him in. We got him. God blessed us to get all the services that we needed for him very quickly. Bought in a hospital bed into our house and everything like that. And we both were still working at the time. So, and he was still able to walk around and move and do what he needed to do. We noticed that his voice was getting weak, and eventually his voice did go, his vocal cords. Amazing, huh? Was the first muscle that went in his body. So we communicated with him through writing things down and stuff like that, or he would point. We kind of knew what he meant, but he was still able to be mobile and things like that. So took him in, was taking care of him. Um, One day we went to Sam's Club to get him out the house because he wanted to go to Sam's Club and get some stuff. He walked to the car. The next day, well, actually that day when we got back home, he said he couldn't walk. He couldn't feel his legs. Now this was about what 3 4 hours time he can walk, and the next thing we know he couldn't walk. So we had to carry him inside from the car. It's amazing how fast this disease can decline. Some can live years, but some months. And so we realized that he couldn't walk anymore. So we had to. He was about to be bedridden. So me and my sister had to pretty much take care of him, change him, the whole nine, feed him, and everything like that. Come and we ended up getting an at-home nurse. Thank goodness. Was able to get some help during the week, but we both had to make a decision. So one of us stopped working, and we actually asked my mom, God bless her, to come down and help us take care of our dad because we always had to have at least two people at the house with him because he was not mobile anymore. So one of us quit our jobs, and the other one still worked, the one who made the most money. Long story short, you probably wonder, like, what does this have to do with consecration, prayer, and fasting? I'm getting to that. So I was taking care of him. Everything was going good. This is about month number 2. And Bishop had called a fast for the church. Consecration, like we're doing now, fasting and praying. And we were like, okay, we're going to do this. We took things seriously, and so we were in prayer and fasting. And during this time, I really didn't have a focus about what I wanted the Lord to do. I knew that I wanted the Lord to help us to continue to be able to take care of our father and make sure that all of our needs were met because we were down to one paycheck. And so the Lord always made a way for us. We never went without, thank God. So that was pretty much my prayer focus, just to help us through that situation. But little did I know, the Lord had another agenda for me personally. My agenda was that He wanted me to focus on was hearing His voice even clearer at the time. I didn't know that then, but I know it now. It was to hear His voice even clearer. And so during that time of prayer, fasting, I remember being under the hairdryer one night, and I was reading my word and just praying while I was under the hairdryer and things like that because we were like couldn't really watch much TV. We was only supposed to watch the Christian channels and stuff like that when we were consecrating, and it wasn't too much on them channels, so we just like had it off. And so I was under the dryer drying my hair, and I remember, y'all, like it was yesterday, as clear as day, hearing the Lord's voice, because there was nobody else in the room but me, and hearing the Lord's voice say, your dad's not going to make it past Saturday. And at this time, I want to say, I believe it was Tuesday or Wednesday when I heard this. Now, mind you, my dad was still bedridden. He was still, doing okay. I didn't see no reason to be alarmed, but I heard clear as day, your dad's not going to make it past Saturday. And I said, okay. Should I tell my sister? What should I do? And at this time, we were actually preparing to go out of town for one of our friends' birthdays. And when I heard that we were supposed to go out that weekend, I got real nervous and I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to tell her. So I called my sister in the room. I said, Sister, I heard the Lord say that Dad is not going to make it past Saturday. I don't think we should go out of town. And she was like, Really? I said, Yes. I said, it was just, it was so clear. It was undeniable. And so we made a decision and we told our friend that we could not go out of town. And I told her exactly what the Lord said. Dad's not going to make it past Saturday because she was also helping us with our dad. And she said, Okay, well, we'll postpone the trip and we won't go. Um, and that's pretty much all that I heard him say, but it was just so clear. It was amazing. And so after that, fast forward a couple of days, not knowing, but my mom, even though we were fasting in the house and praying or whatever, my mom, even she was there and the Lord even gave her a dream. And she had a dream that my dad passed away in the house with her while she was alone. But mind you, we always made sure it was like two of us in the house. So, because, to take care of him. So we made sure that, nobody was ever there by themselves, right? Well, the crazy part was maybe around Friday night, we noticed my dad's breathing sounded a little off. But he had a breathing machine and everything like that. And we went and checked on him and we just make sure that he was comfortable. Because at this time he was totally bedridden and he was on morphine, heavy medicine. And so the Lord, that morning when I woke up, he really put heavy in my spirit that my dad wasn't going to make it past the end of this day. And it was Friday. And so actually I told April, I said, let's get up, let's pray with Dad. Mind you, consecrating, the voice of God was being really sharpened in my ear at this time. That's what he wanted me to focus more on, was making sure I hear his voice clearly. And so got up, prayed with him. And because I was making more money at the time, I told my sister, hey, I'm going to work. If I get a phone call from you, then I know what has happened. And I said goodbyes. I said my goodbyes to my dad, hugged him, kissed him, said, hey, Dad, I love you. I'll see you later. And went to work. And at this time, my sister had to go get my dad's medicine. And so her and one of our friends went with her. So remember the dream my mom had? She was actually in the house with my dad by herself. And they amazingly that day they were taking too long with my dad's medicine at the drugstore. And y'all, my dad passed in the house alone. My mom was alone with my dad in the house when he passed, and she didn't even realize it. But the Lord gave her that dream the same time he told me, as clear as day, your dad's not going to make it past Saturday, as we were consecrating. And my sister went back there to give my dad his medicine, and she realized his head was turned to the side and he wasn't breathing loudly like he had been when she was there. And my sister is the one who found my dad, and the one who called it and said he has passed. And she called me at work. I already knew what it was. Came home and said our goodbyes to our dad, and we already had, because the Lord had prepared us that he wasn't going to make it, that we already had all of his arrangements and everything in line. It was like clockwork. It was so smooth. It was amazing. God is truly amazing. Everything was in order. We wasn't stressed. We wasn't worried about anything because he already prepared us. He already prepared me while I was consecrating that this was about to happen. So the reason why I tell you guys that story about my dad's passing is because if I would not have been consecrating, I truly believe this. If I was not consecrating and if I was not being obedient to what Bishop was saying during that time to fast and pray, then my ear would not have been sharpened to the Lord's voice. And I would not have paid it any attention, because it was so clear. So during this time of prayer and consecration, that's why I said be open to God, because you never know what God is trying to get your attention for. He could be preparing you for the passing of a loved one. And because I listened, it made the situation so much more easier and smoother and less devastating for our family. Yes, we will miss our dad, and we loved our dad, but it really helped to know when he was going to pass, so that we could prepare ourselves and make sure all his affairs were in order. So be open to God. You never know what God may be trying to sharpen in your life, what God may be trying to get your attention for, to prepare you for. He may be trying to prepare you for that promotion. He may be trying to prepare you that, he's getting ready to bless you with a house, to get your credit in order, to get your earnest money up. He could be preparing you for families who may want children, that I'm getting ready to bless you with this righteous seed. So you never know what he could be preparing you for. I'm getting ready to elevate you in ministry. It could be anything. I'm getting ready to bless you with your heart's desire. You never know how God would do it. God can speak to you through just a clear word, and it's undeniable, the voice of God. He could be preparing you through, if you're watching TV, and you're watching a particular program, and he could hone you in on something that somebody is saying, and it resonates in your spirit and it prepares you for something. You could be driving down the street on your way to work, home from work, to church, and you see this house and you be like, oh my God, that's my dream home. And he can hone you in on that to get you prepared. So just family, be open to God. Be open to what God is getting ready to do during this time of consecration, fasting and praying. Be excited about it. Don't do it begrudgingly, but do it cheerfully. Do it cheerfully, and be excited, because it's our time to commune with God and for God to really speak to us and download stuff into our spirits, and to get ourselves ready for the greatness that's coming in our lives. Know that I love you. I'm praying for each and every one of you. And be blessed and be open to what God is getting ready to do during this time of consecration. I love you. Have a wonderful and blessed day.
Bless you, family. Thank you, Minister Alicia, for those words of encouragement. Yes, God is interrupting your life on purpose with this purification consecration. This is not just a church thing. This is not just a religious thing. God himself is interrupting your life. And if you will embrace the interruption, he's going to bring a blessing out of it. Thank you so much for those words of inspiration and encouragement. Again, Minister Alicia Littles, and I want to encourage each of you as we continue on this consecration. As I said earlier, the enemy is starting to fight you now. Your flesh is getting irritated because you want to eat. You want a hamburger. You want this. You want things you don't even normally eat. So the enemy is beginning to war. Your flesh is starting to fight back. That's the first warfare of consecration. Your flesh begins to fight back. And then you get to the second dimension. That's where your soul begins to fight. We're not there yet, but many of your flesh is fighting it. I want you to walk in this consecration. Conquer your flesh. Conquer that irritation. Conquer that aggravation. Drink that water. Do the things that are on this fast to do. God is not trying to take something from you. He's trying to get something to you. I love you. Gotta go. Hope you have a phenomenal day. And I look forward to seeing you at 8 o'clock tonight. Y'all have a great day now. I love you.